Good morning, Year 7. Welcome to your new topic, Africa. For this lesson, you're going to need a pencil, ruler, pen and paper. Enjoy. During our sessions, we will have a quick fire round to test your brain. When you see the pause button, pause the video and have a go at the task. Here is your quick fire round on Africa. Some people think that Africa is a country. It isn't, it's a continent. In fact, it's the world's second largest continent, both in terms of landmass and population. It contains a total of 54 different countries. The River Nile is the world's longest river, and this runs through Africa, starting at Lake Victoria, travelling 6,695 kilometres or 4,160 miles through 11 countries to the Mediterranean Sea. Africa is also home to a vast array of biomes, including deserts, rainforest and the savannah. Please now pause the video and complete the task. One amazing fact is that we're all in fact linked to Africa, as that's where humans began 2 million years ago. 60,000 years ago, we began to leave Africa and spread right across the world. Around 600 years ago, Europeans began to take a new interest in Africa, where they found lots of things that they could trade. For example, gold and ivory. In Berlin in 1884, European countries got together and they divided up Africa. They took over the rule of countries or colonised them. This meant that they could take goods from them. If you look carefully at the map, you can see some of the countries that Britain colonised. Please now pause the video and complete the task. In 1420, Portuguese ships arrived to explore Africa's west coast. The Dutch and British arrived later. When they arrived, they found a land that was rich in gold, ivory and slaves. The Europeans began trading with their cloth, beads and guns, which they swapped for the gold, ivory and slaves. The slaves were shipped across the Atlantic Ocean to North and South America and the Caribbean. Here they worked on plantations. Sadly, the Atlantic slave trade lasted for 300 years and at least 12 million Africans were taken. Please now pause the video and complete the task. Over time, the African colonies grew tired of being exploited and they struggled to gain independence. Libya was the first country to gain independence from Italy in 1951. Zimbabwe was Britain's last African colony, which gained independence in 1980. Africa is currently home to 1.2 billion people, and it's expected that this population will double in the next 35 years. Over half the population in Africa are young people under the age of 20. In fact, 85% of Africa's population are under the age of 45. Across Africa, there are hundreds of different ethnic groups. English is actually the official language in over 20 of these countries. On average, over 60% of Africa's workforce are in the primary industry of farming. But it also has many different industries: mining, oil and gas production. Many people think of Africa as having lots of poverty. But in fact, lots of African people live very wealthy, comfortable lives. We've now come to the end of our first lesson, Welcome to Africa. We need to remember that Africa is a diverse continent of over 54 countries. It's the second largest continent at 30.1 million square kilometres. We know that we're all linked to Africa in some way, as that is where humans began. And about 60,000 years ago, people began to leave Africa to explore other continents. Africa became colonised, taken control over. However, these countries slowly have regained their independence. We know that Zimbabwe was Britain's final country to gain independence. Africa's population is currently about 1.3 billion. Half these people are aged under 20 and 85% under 45 years old. So it has a very useful population. I hope you've enjoyed our first lesson on Africa. Take care. Bye.